Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Saturday and we are going to be correcting this so that you can actually see the full page. Um, there we go. There we go. So we are going to be working on Selena Fenech's Fairy Tales page here. I did print this off last week, so it's been had plenty of time to set into the paper. So we are going to work with the King Art gel sticks as well as the Crawford and Black colored pencils. Hello Noelle, hello Larissa, hello Yana, hello everybody out there in Lurkerland. I'm so happy to see you all. I do hope you're all having a wonderful week. Of course, we're going to do the background first. So we're going to start working with the King Art gel sticks first, and then we're going to go into the colored pencils for the damsel and the fella here, as well as the water lilies and all that fun stuff. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start at the top, work our way down. So I'm going to zoom you in. And we're going to pull this down here so that we can get the full area in there. And we're going to start with a really dark gray. So this is gray. And then we're going to go into cool gray. And then we're going to go into white. And some of the corners are going to have some black. Okay. So that's where we're going to start. And I'm just putting this right onto my glass top, and we're going to pick it up. We're going to use this dry. We're not going to be adding water or anything to it. I'm going to use the finger daubers as well as the brush. And I'm going to put down a whole bunch of it because I need it to be quite heavy to start. We're going to start from dark to light, so that the light will sit on top of the dark. Alright, now we're going to pick this up with the finger dauber. As you can see, it's all in there. And we're just going to work that into the page. Now this is all cloud area, so having those little swirls isn't going to bother me any. Pick up some more. And we're going to lay some more down. How is everybody's week going? Mine has been normal. Work, sleep, eat, work, sleep, eat. You know, pretty much normal. And currently my husband is working on a stream as well today, so if it gets a little choppy, let me know. He doesn't normally stream, but he was asked to assist with a stream from a friend of his. So. But if it starts getting really laggy, let me know and I'll work on it. Yeah. Yeah, weekend is definitely, a good thing, especially if your employment is starting to get really busy. I'm going to go right over top of the petals and we'll clean that up once we get into that area. Now I see the water line starts about here, so we're going to come all the way down to about there. And then we're going to start blending that water into this area here. Same with this side here. And I am just using the Nina cardstock that was in my printer. So, okay, so there's the darkest color and all the way down to the water line. Now we're going to come in with the medium color. Hello, Callie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So this is the cool gray. Number 24. The first one was just gray. Yep, that's exactly it. Summer Vacation does do that. All right, now with this one, I'm just going to do small areas, lightening up that dark area a little bit. Again, still not worrying about those swirls because this is a cloud area, so. We're just putting those cloud shapes in there. All right. Now this is the area that we have to make sure that we do this part right so that those clouds look like clouds. And that is going to happen with a brush. So I'm going to use this brush, and we're going to take the white. And if the white isn't white enough, because sometimes, especially when you're laying it down, it can become quite opaque. Or not opaque, translucent. That's the word I'm looking for. And then we'll come back through with some paint and put some highlights in it to give us that brighter bottom area of the cloud. Okay. All right, now we're going to bring this back down. There we go. And I'm loading this brush up as much as I can. working in little circles. And wisps through here. Like so. I'm giving it that painted cloud look. Now we're going to take another brush and we're going to put in a little bit of black in the corners up at the top just to darken that area just a little bit. Good morning, Shannon, right away. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, everybody. Riding a lawnmower all day long does not sound like fun to me, but enjoy. I know you did 8 miles the other day. That was, quite a bit of riding going on there. I have been lurking in your evening stream there. I did lurk. I did say hi, I do believe. My brain just stops working on Thursday. That was the day. Yeah, Thursday. My brain just stops working some days. And for your question, I think Alex answered it for me, for you. Yes, I will be doing Saturday and Sunday for the next little while. We'll see how that works out. If it works out for everybody, then we'll continue. I just know that on weekdays, I'm so tired by the time I get home that I don't even come into my craft room, and that's really, bad, but it's true. Currently I have an Emily behind me on my desk. And Emily, you've rubbed off on me. I understand the buildup of pencils now. I have way too many pencils on my desk right now, and I do have to go through and clean them up. Just getting some of that darker in there for the clouds. All right. All right, so I'm going to, hello, Christine. All right. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the progress. So that's the sky progress, and we're going to leave it like that. We are going to come through with our electric eraser, and we're going to erase the little bit that got on the petals, because I'm going to color the petals, and I don't want that gel stick on it. There we go. And then we're going to take our brush and we're going to gently brush that away. And then we're going to come back and we're going to start doing the middle area of the water. So the wrong way. We're going to move down here. And we're going to start this area of the water here. And I want that to be a little bit lighter. And we're going to do the water with more of the brushes than the daubers, because it needs a little bit more finessing than the daubers. Now we're going to work light to dark on this because I want to start up here and work our way down because I don't want to stick my arm in it. Did I miss Emily this morning? I can't handle chat in the car either. I can't even watch anything in the car unless Bob's driving, and even then it's iffy. No, no, no. I have an Emily behind me. I have all of her pencils behind me. So I have, when Emily, has all her pencils out, I currently have that issue. So I'm following Emily's rules of don't put your pencils away. That would be dangerous. Yes, thank you. It's like, I don't want you to be dangerous. Thanks. I like you. I don't want anything to happen to you. No, I currently have followed Emily's rule of stick all the pencils in a cup and hope that they put themselves away at some point. No, no. My desk behind me looks like Emily's desk. That is what I meant. Hello, Angela. Okay, good. It's like, um, did I miss Emily? If she comes on Saturday mornings, let me know, because, I am so out of the loop. Nobody tells me anything anymore. All right, now we're going to start adding a little bit of that white in there. And I think I need the white brush instead. And I may come back through with the paint just to make that white brighter. Well, I can hope. Oh, I am so sorry that she's not feeling good. Emily, if you're out there, feel better, honey. Please. And if you ever do decide to come on Saturday morning, let me know. All right, now we're going to bring in a little bit of that brighter blue. And I'm using the same brush so it blends into it and lightens it up a little bit. And we're just going to brush this in. They were talking about doing shift changes at work, And I thought, well, maybe I can get a later shift and be able to catch some people in the morning. And then they told me, well, that doesn't, affect anybody working in the office. And it's like, oh, bummer. Blend that down a little bit, or I use a little bit of white on that area there. Hello, Aspie. Good day. Aren't you supposed to be sleeping, darling? Just going to blend that down a little bit. That's a little too bright in that area there. All right. And then we're going to come through here with it. And I'm not worried too much about getting it on anything because we're going to be using some colored pencil to add a little bit of interest to it and to put in the shadows and reflections. And down here we're going to start putting in those darker colors as well. But I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. And I want, which blue? This one. Oh, yeah. Well, do be careful, Having sleepy eyes is surprised you're awake, dear. So I'm coming down through here with the darker and smaller brush. Tomorrow's stream we're going to be using oil pastels on the pastel paper. And we'll be judging how that works. And if it's any different than the pen pastels and how much better the pastel paper works for that oil pastel medium. Or if there's no difference at all. Well, I saw that Lilo and Stitch new movie. I'm not sure if it's something I would enjoy, but I really like the cartoony ones. I like the cartoons better, but that's just me. I'm not a huge person that enjoys a lot of change, so. When things change at work, it drives me crazy, but that's a rule at work. Rule number 5. Things change constantly. Hello, Nanamo. Enjoy your dinner, dear. I am doing well, thank you. Living the dream, yeah, that's it. I'm not sure whose dream I'm living. All right, now we're going to come in here a little tiny bit. Hello, Sue. All right, and then I want to put a little bit of that green blue in there as well. So we're going to use teal as well. I'm going to get a smaller brush. Water is one of those things that I have issues with trying to get it to look as close as possible, but as interesting as possible as well. So we're going to add a little bit of just trying not to get any little clumpies in there, which can cause some issues. I didn't know they had They had the books. I know that they came out with some after the first movies came out, because my youngest son had some. Thank you, Nana. So right now we're just working with the King Art gel sticks. We're just blending some of the teal in, just to give it a little bit more of that aquatic color in the lighter areas. Oh, no, nobody's ever going to judge you for that, Kenny. I have a horrible memory. The worst thing is I have a horrible memory for things that are important, and things that are really unimportant, I remember every little bit. Useless bits of information, I know them all. Important things, nah, I don't remember. And this is the reflection of her skirt in the water here. So I'm going over it really lightly. I will be coming through with a little bit of this color that we use for the skirt, just to put that reflection in there of color. Same with down here where it's a reflection of his body coming down and a reflection of his hair. We'll put in a little bit of that coloring in there as well. All right. All right, so there we have, I'm going to dry brush a little bit of this color in up here. And we're going to dry brush a little bit of white streaking in there as well. Okay. Then we're going to take that light gray and we're going to just blend that in. To that bottom edge there. As the sky comes down into it. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move everything out of the way so that we're not dropping color on things. I'm going to wipe up the color off of my mat so that I'm not pushing color onto my page. You know what's missing? I will be right back. I'm missing my wipes. I think my kiddo stole my cleaning wipes. All right, I will be right back. I'm going to grab some wipes. You guys can still hear me. I just not going to be at the camera. I'm just going to grab those out of the hallway, which isn't too far away. have basically a janitor's closet in the hallway. It has all these things in it, so. I like to use the Lysol wipes because it does clean the gel stick and the oil pastel off of things really easily. And I will use these to clean my brushes and daubers as well later on. But for now, I just want to get it off of my workspace so that I'm not dragging anything through it. Hello, Mona! As you can see, it works very, very well. So we're just going to clean that up, and then we're going to take some paper towel and dry it off. Just to make sure that we have it all cleaned up. And that way I'm not dragging anything through color that I shouldn't be dragging it through. Yeah, that's the way my brain works. That is not the way that life works for me. I want to get new things, and then I think, oh, but I have too much of these things, and then I get new things anyway, and they just go with all the other things. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here. We're going to work our way up. So we're going to start with the lily pads. And we're going to start with this one here, I think. Number 45 is phthalo green. Actually, I want to go a little bit darker, so let's go with chrome green. Number 42. And sharpener. It's morning here. Yeah, it's morning on Sunday there. All right, and we're going to go a little darker. Because I want the lighter color to make the darker color pop a little more. I'm doing light to dark. I'm just following the grayscale, putting in those light dark colors in the dark areas. And we're just going to do that with this group of lily pads here. Any of the lily pads that have too much gel stick on them, I will take an eraser to and lift off some of it. These ones don't have a whole bunch. The great thing about the King Art gel sticks, a lot of times you can just color right over top and not have it affect it. Yep. Which way? Left, right, sideways, upside down? Which way would you like me to scooch, Angela? Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know I needed to scooch. Because sometimes I don't think about it and I just start coloring. Now we're going to use number 45. We're blending right into that darker color, extending it out a little bit. The Fantasy Forest, I don't think I got that one. That would be a Shannon question, but she's on a mower, so. I personally have not bought anything. There's a couple of books I really want to get and I really need to get, but I have not yet. And that's the Christine Caron's artist edition books there. I really want those. I want the Igusa book as well. You guys have been coloring some really cute pages out of those. And I've got to color more in my mythographics as well. Now we're just going to come in with a bright color. So we're going to come in with a bright green. So this is number 31, which is light green. And we're just going to brighten this up. On the edge of the lily pad here as well. I'm just going right over top of everything, blending those darker greens in. There's two different ones that are coming out. One is coming out, I do believe, this month. Maybe it's next month. And one is coming out at the end of the year. One is Forest Folk or something like that. And one is the baby's version of it, I do believe. But there's two different ones that are coming out that are printed just like her last book that came out in the hardcover, done by the other, what is the press company that she used? Now my brain has gone completely blank on it, but there's two different ones that are coming out. Hello, Frederica. Yeah, those ones. Blue, whatever, for the press there. But there's so many of them that I want very badly. And there's so many that I don't buy because I want to make sure that, life is secure. Now we have one of the kids moved back in, so um, Shannon, it lasted a year, just saying. He was gone for a year before he moved back in, and that whole relationship debacle it ended, but it lasted a year. He was gone exactly 1 year. Yes, she was the problem. Yeah, it wasn't him, it was her. Fabiana. I like Fabiana's work, the mythographics. I like Joseph's too. There's a few of them that I really like. There are some that I like, but I don't auto buy them because they're just so busy. Now I have found a store that does carry them. I can actually go and look at them now and when I have time and decide whether or not I'm gonna enjoy them. I've got so many books that I haven't colored in so long that I'm really hesitant on buying anything new. And I don't get into the studio as much as I'd like to, which really kind of sucks because I'm not getting as much coloring done. And I miss coloring sometimes. Sometimes I do find that it's uses up too much of my brain, if that makes sense. And I don't have enough of my brain left to use. Oh, coloring book prices are going up as well, huh? Everything's going up. And they do it because they know, that people will sooner or later buy them. It's bad when they raise things like food and that sort of thing. I really don't like it when they raise that kind of thing because there are some things you just don't have choice but to buy, like food. toilet paper, things like that. You have a choice when it comes to coloring books and things like that that are a hobby. But when they start raising prices on things like food and toilet paper and stuff like that, that you don't have a choice is really frustrating. I do believe I said hello to Frederica, but I can't remember. Yeah. And my job is not a physical job. I will say that I do not physically get exhausted. I get mentally exhausted by the end of the day with my job because it is very emotionally and mentally exhausting um, when somebody's yelling at you all day. And it's not, people are being mean or anything like that. It's just frustration. And I understand that people are frustrated when, especially when their phone is acting up. A lot of people don't understand that when you pay your monthly premiums, you're not paying to fix your phone. Um, you're paying a monthly premium, just like any other insurance. There's a monthly premium to ensure that your insurance is there when you need it. You know, just like the deductibles. Deductibles are just the same as with other insurance. It's a small portion of the cost of replacing an item that you're having to have replaced or fixed. And people sometimes get very mad with that. So, yeah, exactly. You know, hobby supplies, yeah, I can see why those prices would go up. Especially with where a lot of our hobby supplies come from. But, I don't think they should be making it more difficult for people to actually live and eat and go to the bathroom. Those supplies should not be going up in any circumstances, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, rent is going up because your landlord's taking advantage of inflation. Um, Being in the insurance business, I do know that um, our premiums are not going up as a part of any inflation as of yet. So um, our company especially is not raising those rates as of yet with the inflation that's going on. But with landlords, I can kind of understand, why they're jumping on that bandwagon of raising the rents and that sort of thing. It's not necessary. But when it comes to things like repairs on a premise that is being rented, those repairs can be, costly nowadays. The cost of wood has gone up. The cost of metals and materials have gone up, which, I can understand them charging more for having those repairs done, but I don't think they should be raising the rents for it. But that's one of the things that they're saying that they are doing because of the rent increases. Yeah. Yeah, my rent is fixed. It's a mortgage. Yeah. And the mortgage company keeps on wanting to wanting us to refinance so that they can increase our mortgage rates. And it's like, no, it's okay. I don't need an increase, thanks. Because mortgage rates have gone up as well. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and that's very true, Shannon. A lot of landlords that are jumping on the bandwagon are not watching the trend of inflation. Those prices are going to go up. They're going to sit there and enjoy those, sit there and rub their fingers and their hands together going, ooh, we got more money coming in. And those rents are not going to go down when that inflation goes down. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. When mortgage rates are up, it is not time to refinance your home. you know, but they like to try to entice you into doing it, and it's like, no, I don't need, to pull all the equity out of my house to refinance, sorry, at a higher rate. We looked into it and it looked really good on the outside. They said that they would lower the interest rates and whatnot. But by the time all the fees were in and everything else, we were paying just as much, if not more, than we are now. So it's like, no, that is not what we want to do. And for a longer period of time, and it just doesn't work out. So we don't do it. All right, now we're gonna do these last ones back here. And my pencils are rolling around, so they're being annoying. And some of these are petals. That's a petal, that's a petal, those are petals. Okay. And I think they're coming from the water lilies in her hair. Yeah, yeah, I prefer owning than renting. Absolutely. With the way that landlords are dealing with rents these days, and with the money that you're basically putting towards a rent, you can put towards the equity of your home, and that's usually much better. And when, housing prices go up, you're not the one that's holding the bag when the landlord decides to sell the house because the mortgage rates went up. All right, now we're going to do the flowers, and we're going to do those a lovely pink. So we're going to start with number 95, which is grenadine. Yeah. No, you'd have to move down here. Angela, you'd have to move down here. Although the rent prices down here have gone up quite a bit too, or the mortgage prices down here have gone up quite a bit too. You know, I know our property value has gone up a lot, so since we bought the house. I know this because so has our taxes. See, you'd have to move down to Oregon and be my neighbor. There's a house just down the road for sale. And you've seen where I live, it's pretty. So I'm just coming through with the darker pink first. Alright, and then we're going to come through with a little bit lighter. This is number 85, so that is a Bengal rose. But you like being close to the water. I'm not close to the water here. It's about an hour's drive away. Oh yeah, yeah, Washington is getting quite expensive now. Especially in those coastal areas, like really coastal areas, less more inland. It's the same here in Oregon. The closer to the coast, of course, the higher the mortgages are. In the valley, you have a less amount that you pay. Now we're going to go very light, and we're going to go with this one. This one is azalea pink. like so. Yeah, there's a couple of really good pasture lands here in Jefferson that have been up for sale for quite some time. The younger generation doesn't want anything with a lot of land because it's just a lot of work. I want something with a lot of land just because then I don't have to deal with neighbors. I'm glad he's healthy as a horse, absolutely. Y'all can move into Oregon and encourage me to color more. Yeah, I personally would love a lot of land too. Yep, that's close to the water, absolutely. You know, it's a nice neighborhood, you know. What color do you think we should do her outfit? Should we work in purples or, because with him I'm going to do blues, I think. We're going to do his blues with blonde hair. With her dark hair, because her hair is quite dark. I'm just trying to think if we should do a lilac, a light purple, or if we should work more into the reds. What do you guys think? So this is the color areas that we have. I was thinking in these areas. So violet, lavender, cobalt blue, light ink blue kind of colors. What do you guys think? Or should we go more into the purple blue, purple lake, cobalt blue? Aspie, you're my purple person. What do you guys think? The reds in here are pretty nice as well. So we've got Indian red, uh, peach purple, and the azalean crimson areas. But I'm just trying to think what's going to go well with the scene. I want to have some of the pink in there. Um, so which one do you, the deep mauve area, so this kind of color? Yes, red and blue looks great together, absolutely. And I was thinking of that, but with the lightness of the dress, I think the red would be too much. And with this, I can gravitate that purple, doing the darker purples up here, like ultramarine violet and cornflower blue, and work down to the violet. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I got it. Hold on. So I'm going to start with number 68 or 74. Which is up here. I think this one. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. We're going to start with number 68. Crawford and Black are a company out of England. They are the store brand for a store out in England, an art store. I can't remember which one it is now. Probably Crawford and Black. All right, So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for you. We're going to start up at the top and then we'll work our way down, and then we'll work that purple into the water. This area here we're going to do in the lights, and we're going to add a little bit of that white to it as well. So this is number 68, which is ultramarine violet. Hurry back. No, right now we're kind of in limbo until we find, Bob a new job. I would love to do a coloring colony. If we ever win the lottery, that is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to buy a large piece of land, and I'm going to have my coloring colony and or crafting colony, and that way Bob can have his printing people and I can have my coloring people, and then we can do camps and whatnot. Or just, having a couple of extra houses around so that people could come stay and hang out. Yeah, that kind of thing. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the top first. I'm going to do that down through here. It is definitely a dream, and as we all say, without dreams we die, so I would love to do that though. There was a couple of little towns in Oregon here, one of which was called Sisters, that was for sale, and it would have been really cool. Just take an old ghost town and just turn it into something else. Liven it up a bit. Yeah, he's still dealing with it. He's still dealing. And he will, because that's who he is. He will deal with it until he finds something else that is at least comparable financially, that he might enjoy more. I keep on telling him, finances aren't everything. We will survive on whatever. His health and well-being are more important to me. But, he's a guy. And I love him. But sometimes I just want to smack him. Yeah, hi there, Britt. I am so sorry I did not see you come in, dear. Yeah, there's some great shops out there. Now we're going to work at number 75, which is violet. Bend is beautiful too, yeah. It's too far up into the mountains for me though. I like the mountains. I grew up in the mountains, but I find that the snow, even though I really enjoy watching it snow, I do not like snow. Um, I don't like working in snow. I don't like driving in snow. I don't even like walking in snow. And I really don't like shoveling snow. And the mountains just get so much of it. I'm terrible. I know. But that's the truth. Yeah. Yeah. I remember you said something about that. No, the Dollar General job didn't go anywhere. They didn't even respond. It's like, really? They interviewed him and basically ghosted him, so it's like he had one for a pet store that did the same thing, pet food enterprise that basically did the same thing, interviewed him for like 3 interviews and then ghosted him. Yeah. No, Bob. Which is crazy because he has, franchise experience for the past 30 years. He has, HR experience past 30 years. He has more than enough knowledge and experience to do what they wanted him to do, but people are dumb. All right, now we're going to use cobalt blue. Yeah, it's like, especially in that corporate structure, for them to, interview and interview and then just ghost is like, probably. And more than likely he was. But because he doesn't have the degrees behind it, he doesn't feel that he is, because, they're hiring people with degrees and he doesn't have the degree behind it, just the knowledge and the experience. He feels that he's not qualified for a lot of things because he doesn't have the degree, and I keep telling him he's qualified for a lot more than most of those people with degrees. So yeah, yeah, it'd be nice if they gave him, an answer. He's rewritten his resume. He's got like 6 different resumes now, just to cover what he used to, well, what he does at his job. It's like, that's crazy. But if he ever finds a good job, no matter where it is, we will move. Until then, we will stay. He has a job, but they have done horrible things to him. So short story, or long story short, Bob's been working at the same company under the same franchise group for the past 30 years. The corporate entity that the franchise is from bought the franchise from them because they were the top running franchise, and they wanted to utilize their success as a training tool for new franchisees. Well, in the process of doing that, they demoted Bob, lowered his salary, uh, and put him in a position that he's never worked before, just to hold on to him so that he could do the jobs that the old franchisee used to have him doing, because they don't know how to do it. So long story short, they bought the business, demoted Bob, and Bob's still doing the same job he was doing, just with less pay. And he's a little bitter about it. And I don't blame him. He's worked at with the same franchise group for the past 30 years. Yeah. So he's actively trying to get another job, but my husband will never quit a job that he has for a job he doesn't have, no matter how unhappy he is. And I've told him, if you are getting to the point where you're so depressed and so unhappy, I would rather live in a cardboard box than watch you slowly die inside. So, but he won't let me do it. So, and that's why I'm working, because with the demotion became a lower amount of pay, and with the bills that we had, um, it was warranted. We've got those bills down a little bit now, so we can actually put some in the savings and cover that rainy day when he does finally say I'm out. Yeah, I'm always going to be his strongest supporter. Absolutely. I think he deserves better than what they've done to him, but he won't ever walk away from a job he has, no matter how unhappy he is at it. And I understand the reasoning behind it. It's just not what you do, you know. You don't walk away from a bird in the hand and go for the two in the bush, because the two in the bush will fly away. Now, the great thing about my job is no matter where he gets a job, as long as it's not New York, um, California, or Washington, I can still work my job. So it's absolutely, it is what it is. Life happens, and with that sometimes can be trial and tribulation, and we just work it together, and that's all we can do, right? So I'm just coming down with number 75, which is the violet. Yep, and it will. It just takes time. Yeah, but yeah, that's what we've been going through for almost a year. A little bit over 6 months. And it's not horrible. It's not it's just change, and that's what we have to look at it as. Is it's just a change, so we just change with it. And it's not like anything he did or anything anybody else did. It's just the way the corporate structure works in comparison to the structure he's used to, which really sucks. But yeah, yeah, and we've talked about that too. Is him getting that degree as well. It's just financially affording it. With the cost of education these days is a little bit daunting with, and working full time on top of it and making sure that the bills are paid. Controller. It's a controller position, so basically it's an HR head of administration type job. That's what he used to do. Well, that's what he does now. He's just not paid for it anymore. And they've taken a lot of it and put it with corporate, so he's not doing as much as he used to do, which is fine, but they want him to do another job as well as what their previous employer required, and it's just a whole bunch of different ins and outs of what is my job, because what I'm doing now is not my job title, and that drives him crazy. So it's Crawford and Black. I did put the name in the description. I did not put a link because I can't remember where I got them from. Just saying. I was going to ask Catherine because she knows, but I know I have reviewed them and I did put the link on the review. But for the life of me this morning, I couldn't remember where I bought them. No, you're fine. I did put the name in the description, though, if you want to look them up. No need to apologize. Okay, I think that's it for the violet areas. Are you looking? You're going to look it up for me? Thank you. And then we got this one. Yeah. It's Crawford and then the and symbol in black. All right, now we're going to use number 73, which is lavender. And I'm using the side of the pencil because I'm using very little pressure because I want to build that color up. Down here at the bottom, we're going to use that dark and that medium to have that show that dark shadow. the edges there. Thank you, Shannon. It looks like they've gone up a little bit, in the shipping especially. I think I bought them on eBay, now that I think of it. Yeah, now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure I bought them on eBay. The shipping has gone up quite a bit because I think it was much cheaper than that when I bought them. The Works, that's it. Yeah, it's the brand that is created for the Works UK workshop. Thank you. I knew for some reason I could not think of the name. And I missed it. I'm sorry. I knew thought I saw you. Yeah, neither were mine. I got up first thing this morning, and the first thing I did is I made a cup of coffee and then cleaned my kitchen. Um, I went to bed in the middle of Angela's stream last night, and I woke up at 7:30 this morning. That's how tired I was. I think I stayed in bed for like 12 hours, and that is just not me. Most people who know me know that I do not stay in bed for 12 hours. Yes. Yes, that's the set that you bought and had your UK friend send me. Or send you so that you can send them to me. because I had one pencil that was not the right color. I was really tired, and I don't sleep like that. Usually my body doesn't let me sleep like that. Now I will say in regards to the new bed, I did not wake up in complete agony. Normally if I stay in bed more than 6 or 7 hours at most, and that's oversleeping a lot, I wake up and I can't move. I could actually move. I just had an odd pain in my side a little bit, but I could move, which is more than I could with the other bed. But yeah, I was watching Angela's stream last night, and I started falling asleep while I was watching it. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to go and lay down and put my feet up while I watch Angela's stream. Yeah, I fell asleep. It is a very expensive bed. Uh, I can't remember the name of it. It's Air something or other. I'd have to look. It's quite an expensive bed, but it was the only one that didn't suck you in. I have found that ones that are like memory foam or have memory foam in them feel like I'm sinking into quicksand and I can't move very well on them. So we just went with a good um, pillow top bed. It's made with springs and cotton and linen, and there's very little foam in it, which I think is better for me. I don't want to be hugged by my bed. I don't want to feel like I'm sinking into quicksand when I try to move across the bed. It's a king size bed, and the person that makes the bed, guess what, is 5 feet tall. Um, so I needed something that I could actually, crawl across to make the bed that wasn't going to suck me into the center of it. I should not have to struggle to get out of bed in the morning. But yeah, they were all either way too soft in the memory foam, or they would suck me in, and I just can't. Yeah, ours is just a king. I could fit a Cali King in my room, but that would just make things even harder for me. I'm short. A regular king size bed is plenty big enough for this girl. Yeah, I have a big bedroom. But I didn't want to buy an entire new bedroom set because, you know, ours is fantastic. I love our bedroom set, and it's sturdy and solid. We did look at larger king size beds just because we could. Um, but I figured after 15 years on the one Tempur-Pedic mattress that we had, it was time to get a new mattress. So we got 15 years out of the Tempur-Pedic, so but it was starting to hurt my body, so it was time for it to go. There was nothing wrong with it. It was actually in really good shape. The guys that came and picked it up were quite surprised in how good of shape it was in. But I'm one of those people that steam cleans it and flips it over and constantly keeps it moving so that it doesn't settle and keeps it in good shape. Because, that's what I do. Yeah, yeah, that. Been there too. Yep. It's amazing how much in life it requires a good night's sleep. I don't usually get a good night's sleep, so there are some days I am more tired than I should be, but all right. So there we have the dress itself. Now we're going to put the color on the water for the dress as well. And we're going to use the number 73, so the lavender, to do that. Yeah, our when we had a dog, it did not sleep in the bed with us. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start adding some of that purple in, so the reflection shows some of that purple. I want the watercolor to be there as well, because it's just a reflection in the water. It's not, the dress in the water. And we'll bring in a little bit of the lighter purple as well, just to do the edges a little bit. Like so. Now we've still got a little bit under here as well, and a little bit under here. All right. And then we're going to take this one. And we're just going to come in and we're just going to add that lighter purple around the edges a little bit. All right. Then we're going to take a little bit of, where's the brush? Just a little bit of that blue, and we're just going to fill in a couple of areas. And make sure that we get that blend going on there. And this blue. All right. Okay, so I'm going to zoom it out so you can see what it looks like as soon as I find my mouse. Now we have been working on this for 2 hours. And a little bit further. There we go. That's better. So that is what it looks like so far. I will come through and add another layer to the dress with the purple. But I think I've gotten to where I want to be on the water and everything else. I do want to put a little bit more of this green through here. So we're going to grab, where is it? Maybe I put it back in the box. I was going to grab the teal, but I don't see it out, so I must put it back in the box. Yep. All right, Alex, have fun. We'll come through and fix that. Over her toes. And I'm just going to come through and fill in a couple of these bright areas with the teal, and I'm going to wipe it off of the colored area there. And blend that in with my finger. Like so. All right. Awesome. Well, I hope that he's enjoying doing the job for the neighbor. Just filling in a couple of little areas. Then I gotta wash her toes, because she's got water on her toes. There we go. That's the great thing about gel sticks, is if you get to them when they're still moist or not completely set, you can actually erase them quite easily. If you leave it for a day or so, you're going to end up not being able to erase it. All right, now I'm going to wash my hand. All right, guys, so that is it so far. I will, like I said, I'm going to go through the dress once more and get that filled in so that we can blend. I just wanted to be able to get the look of the dress going there, so that when I did down here, I knew what colors I wanted to be reflected. All right, guys, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. I will be streaming again tomorrow. And tomorrow I am going to show you the page that we're going to be doing in the oil pastels. We will continue this one next Saturday. Now, we are working on a pastel paper and other paper examination on Sundays. Last Sunday, of course, we did this one here in the pan pastel. And I actually looked at this in the sunlight, and it is so sparkly. The pastels with the glitter in them are so sparkly in the sunlight. It looks fantastic. I am hoping to get a picture of it. But tomorrow we will be doing this page, and I figured it was fairly close to this page. Both are Molly Harrison, and we're going to do this page, but we're going to do this page in the oil pastels. It is still on that pastel paper. It's the same tone of pastel paper, but we're going to see how they layer and how they lay down on this pastel paper. All right, so I will see you all tomorrow. We will run from 2 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. And I've decided that's about the best time for me is 2 to 4. Okay, so that I can get some stuff done, get dinner started, and then stream for a little while, make sure that dinner is fed to everyone, get all my clothes together for work, have a bath, all those things that we do on Sunday. All right, so we will be doing this tomorrow. Again, this is how far we've gotten with this one here, and on next Saturday we will finish up him in the water, and then we'll work on the skin. I think next Saturday this one should be completely finished. All right, guys. Thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. I do hope that you all have enjoyed yourself. Of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artists that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, bye-bye for now.